with the way my mom decided to name me, that's so bigoted.
Yes, it is. And you are listening to Smith Radio. You listen to us live every Sunday night, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to be a part of the show, call in 513-888-1538. Follow us on Facebook.com/Smith Radio and on Twitter @Smith Radio. And that's Smith spelled the Y, SMYTH. We are delving into the insanity that is the media, the administration, and the twisted logic of the Second Amendment and how much they hate it, as well as the Orlando shooter. And did you hear Hillary come out this week against the Second Amendment and how...
Oh, well, that's, I mean, I would have been able to predict that.
But the words that she used...
I would love to hear that.
And when I say twisted logic, this is...
You mean tortured logic?
Tortured logic. This is...
Waterboarded logic here.
This is a new because I have not heard this. And if it's not new, I have never heard anybody quite put it like this and really try and make it stick. You know how like they call people names?
Well, if you waterboard it enough, you can get it to
say anything you want.
Go ahead.
I believe weapons of war have no place on our streets. And we may have our disagreements about gun safety regulations, but we should all be able to agree on a few essential things. If the FBI is watching you for suspected terrorist links, you shouldn't be able to just go buy a gun with no questions asked.
Okay, so
that's red meat. That's red meat.
Yeah, one, weapons of war. Carrie, that covers almost everything and certain weapons in your kitchen.
I believe that a shield would
you can use a shield as a weapon. Yes. Oh,
it's
yeah,
a weapon
absolutely.
of war. No. I mean, it's a defensive thing. But yeah,
defensive weapon.
Okay. When you say weapons of war, does that exclude things that you would use as defense, such as a helmet?
Well,
is that not considered a weapon?
Where the shooter bought his gun, that gun shop owner came out this week and said he was asking for body armor and all kinds of stuff. And we called the FBI and we told the FBI, hey, you need to look at this guy.
And they blew that off.
They interviewed him FBI interviewed the shooter 3 different times.
Yeah, so here's what I heard. I don't know if you heard any different. When they interviewed him, he said, listen, I'm not terrorist. Look at me. Clearly, I'm
Muslim.
I'm Middle East. I'm Muslim, but look at me. You can look at me and see I am of Middle Eastern descent. So I'm telling you, these people that are accusing me of this are bigots. Guess what the FBI did? They went back to the accuser and said, so, how long have you been a bigot?
How long have you been beating your wife?
How long have you been beating on Muslims? Right. And all of a sudden, these accusers, these whistleblowers, if you will, were suddenly worried about losing their job for being accused of being a bigot.
Maybe even having your business taken from you for not baking a cake.
Oh, yeah, or a pizza for a gay whatever.
The redneck gays. Who has pizza at a wedding?
Was it Milo or somebody else was like, okay, getting beyond the fact that we would never have a pizza catered wedding.
I know a lot of gay men and gay women. And they pride themselves on having
opulence,
yes,
and class, and it's got to be super done up, and
oh, absolutely,
it's got the pomp and circumstance of a gay wedding.
That's the word I was looking for.
Has got to be off the charts. And you tell me that some gay guy or alleged gay guy goes into a pizza shop and asks you to cater his wedding?
Whew.
What kind of pizza is this? It's got to be some nice looking pizza.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. So she's using the term now, weapons of war.
Interesting.
Because
they own the language. And it's a shame. We need to try to take it back from them. But they flat out own The
I
language.
don't think that's not true. I mean, look at the Supreme Court.
Global warming has been changed. The name's been changed so much. Gun control has turned into gun safety.
You heard her say that just now.
Yeah.
Anybody against common sense gun safety.
That's called a safe switch.
Right.
Put
I've
gun
got a
safe.
safety on my. If I had a gun, it would have a safety.
I
don't know if I had
a trigger lock. That would be gun safety. Maybe a safe.
safety.
Yeah.
Did I ever
Put it
tell?
in the gun
I think
safe?
I've told you this before, but growing up, we had a stepdad, and he had a cabinet, a glass cabinet, with it was a wooden cabinet with glass all around, so you could see in it, and he had in there probably 4 or 5 different rifles, shotguns.
And I've seen that's actually common. Those kind of gun cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And down in the bottom was a drawer that pulled out and had ammunition in there.
Yep.
And it did have a key to lock. And the key was on top of the gun.
Isn't it always? It's
Right.
always up there.
Right. I never, in my entire life, never one time unlocked it and pulled anything out.
Okay.
Wasn't even...
But you can't assume that that's not going to
No, but I'm...
I like the glass cases, though, because you don't need to know where the key is in
You
case
could-
somebody busts in your living room.
Yeah, break...
You got to run down. It was in the basement. Everybody's always got it in the basement.
It was in the living room.
He had the gun case.
It was a decorative gun case. I mean, it was a very expensive glass case.
If he doesn't have the
And he was-
Western motif type of decoration, that's got to be the theme.
Well, he didn't.
Oh,
However, he
'cause
is...
it look redneck.
He was a full-blown redneck. There is no doubt about
so
that.
the theme was
That's redneck.
Was it a double wide or a single wide trailer?
It depends. Was it before the construction or after?
After the construction.
Because they added one on. You know, you can only afford a single wide.
Mm-hmm.
So you order another single wide and you knock a hole out of the wall.
So it was a double single.
Yeah, just glue them together.
Well, you don't even have to glue them. You know how train cars, they have the connection between the cars? You could do that.
And they just put a tarp from one to the other
tarp?
in case it's raining. In case it's...
Oh,
Because you got to walk to the other one.
Right. You got to have some sort of shelter.
Right, like a tarp, like plastic. or
Definitely a tarp. Or some plastic sheeting.
But even back in the day, you know, like Little House on the Prairie days, they would have a shotgun fully loaded, ready to go, hanging on the wall,
Okay.
on the mantle, over the mantle. That it always did. However, you know, I was taught gun safety, and I saw what guns could do, so I had a whole nother level of respect. Well, you take that out of the equation, and these kids don't have no idea about guns. All they're taught is what the left teaches them.
Oh, that
They're
gun-
weapons of war.
Well, and that they have actual consciousness. And they can talk to you. They can talk to you, and they can
See, I've got a good
bend your
gun.
will.
Yeah, I got a good gun that tells me not to shoot. It calms me down.
Was that Crowder or somebody else that did the
That was
skit?
Louder with Crowder.
He did the skit with the gun with the eyeballs on it.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
We're going to have to link that to
Didn't he
this
start
video.
smacking? He started smacking that dude around
With the gun.
The gun
Like
with
pistol
the eyes.
whipping
Yeah,
it.
he was pistol whipping.
Yeah, so Brian and I, we independently came up with this idea, but we didn't act on it, and after seeing the Crowder thing, just totally stole the thunder.
Right.
But that the gun not only can talk to you directly, like Crowder actually had the gun as a character with
Yeah.
eyes on it.
It was a caricature of a gun. Well, but I mean, it was a gun with eyes and yeah.
So, but we had thought we should do a skit. By the way, copyright Smith Radio. So the skit should include a guy driving down the street, and as he approaches, he's in an area with businesses, kind of a city area, more urban. But as he approaches a gun shop down the street, and he's approaching it, he sees it, and as soon as he sees it, he starts to hear voices coming from the gun shop. Hey, come here. Park in the back, man. It's cool, man. Come on, man.
There's extra parking in the rear.
Yeah. Well,
just
you
throw that
want
and
to
park in the rear.
You know you want to. Come on, get me. Hook yourself up, man. We're right here. And then he purchases the gun, and then the gun talks to him all the time, like almost like having a voice in your head.
Yeah, but it's the gun.
The gun is actually the one, kind of doing the telekinesis or whatever.
Hey, you want to test out my trigger? See how that feels?
Hey,
just go ahead and squeeze
why don't you just squeeze it?
it.
and this is causing an involuntary action of the victim, if you will.
Yeah, he
Because
can't help
the gun's doing it. Oh, he has no
can't
control
help
over it. No control
You want to
whatsoever.
know what it feels like to squeeze off a few rounds?
And oh, by the way, you should see what it's like when these bullets go into another person.
Oh my God, I can't even begin to tell you. Okay. Is that too much? That's
And
too
the
much?
reason I
Okay,
came
go
up
ahead.
with this idea.
Go ahead and shoot it.
Right.
Shoot at a tree first. We'll just get warmed up. Get you comfortable.
Got to do it. You can't just have me and not use me.
Oh no.
So and the source of the idea was the way that the left talks about guns. It's like they actually believe that this is the case. In fact, who's the guy, the singer? I can't remember.
Elvis?
No, he's the hunter guy. He's got the guns, the pro NRA guy, NRA spokesman. His name was Ted
Nugent.
Yeah, Ted Nugent. He picked up on the way the left treats weapons too, and he decided to put a loaded shotgun on his coffee table with a live stream camera to it.
Waiting for it.
You could log in to wherever in order to view this live stream anytime you want, 24 hours a day, because at some point this gun is going to start moving itself.
It's going to fire itself. So check this out.
It's dangerous.
Right. So juxtapose Hillary calling these things weapons of war. We need common sense. If you're on a no-fly list, I don't know how you got on that list, but if you're on that list...
Oh, don't you make no never mind.
Don't you make it's so Trump is on NBC Today, and I don't know who this talking head is. She's a cutie, so I know how she got her job.
Oh, okay. All right.
Definitely a cutie. And she's kind of young, I'd
So
say.
how did Debbie Wasserman Schultz get her job?
Well, she bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. I don't know.
No,
Okay.
I don't know.
So she's arguing with Hillary, and Trump is he's going back and forth with her. So this is the weapons of war.
You consider among those other things you just mentioned a ban on assault rifles, and here's the argument. They're a weapon of war. They're not a hunting rifle. They appear to be the weapon of choice for...
Okay, there you go. I'm telling you, now the news media is picked up on this word, weapons of war.
So this become there. Hold on a second. Should we talk now or wait till the whole thing? Because, I mean, I'm ready to blow up about what it is to be a weapon of war, an assault. This is renaming the phrase assault rifle. They realize they're losing the battle on the assault rifle.
Hunting rifle. They appear to be the weapon of choice for terrorists, as well as the shooter of kindergartners, first graders in Newtown, as well as movie theater goers in Aurora. Why not ban assault weapons, as Hillary Clinton just called for recently on our show?
Well, first of all, there are millions of them already out there, millions upon millions. So they're already out there, number
300
one.
million.
And I absolutely wouldn't, because people need protection. They have to protect. So the bad guys will have the assault rifles, and the people trying to protect themselves will be standing there with a BB gun.
Can you think of an instance where somebody on the good side used an assault weapon?
She's the wrong person. She's the wrong person at the wrong time. She doesn't understand the issue. She's weak. She's ineffective. She does not understand the issue. And she would be absolutely the wrong person.
I love how Trump does not let the media push him around.
Yeah, when he was getting interrupted, and I've seen this a lot with Trump, when he is making a statement and he's not done making his point, it kind of reminds me of when I would get into a big argument back in the day. You remember the old phones that were actually hooked up to a cord on the wall?
Yes.
You remember the receiver for that you put on your head?
Right.
If you watch an old movie, you know what I'm talking about. If I'm in an argument with somebody on a phone like that, I'll actually take the part that's supposed to go in your ear and just turn it away from my ear
Right.
and continue to talk as if I'm talking